Namaste, Jai Kali, Jai Mahadev, Jai Bharat. I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. Remember, if you're fit and fine, you can take better care of your loved ones. So today we are going to talk about how children's, adapt different roles. And these children's, I'm talking about the children's who are raised and who are born in dysfunctional families. So now let us understand how these children adapt to different roles. So this is a small little presentation that I have created for you all, and let me begin. Yes. So there are three roles, or categories that you can classify the children's into. And these three roles or these three categories are the scapegoat, the overachiever, and the peacemaker, right? So now let us understand. So before, we get into all of these things, the three kinds of roles, before we get into that, first let us understand what, dysfunctional families are, because most of people really don't know what are dysfunctional families. So, a dysfunctional family is a family in which conflict, misbehavior, and often child neglect or abuse on the part of individual parents occur continuously and regularly, leading other members to accommodate such actions. Children sometimes grow up in such family with the understanding that such a situation is normal. So you see, in a dysfunctional family, a child who grows up in a dysfunctional family, the children begin to feel and assume and accept that this is the new normal. Where neglect is normal, where misbehavior, conflict, abuse is normal. So they begin growing up considering these things to be normal. The children. Dysfunctional families are fertile ground for neglect, abuse, secrecy, addiction, or denial. So, dysfunctional families are fertile ground for neglect, abuse, secrecy, addiction, or denial. So, people who are part of dysfunctional family, they are very prone to being very neglecting or very abusive or very secretive or they might have addictions or denial problems, where they don't accept things. They just deny, oh no, there's nothing wrong, everything is fine, because they have grown up with all that toxicity, and all those toxicity is normal to them. Try and understand the point that I want to make here is that in a dysfunctional family, a child grows up believing that all these toxic traits and behaviors are normal, which is not. In these family systems, children's emotional needs go unmet because the parents' need take precedence. One or both parents might be suffering from a substance use disorder, personality disorder, or mood disorder. So if you see, in these kind of families, the children's emotional needs are not at all cared for. The parents just don't care for the emotional aspect of their children, how they feel or what they are feeling at that very point of time. So the parents ignore, and the parents are either having some substance abuse problem, the personality disorder, either one of the parent is suffering from personality disorder or mood disorder. So it doesn't have to be everything together. In a dysfunctional family, a parent can have some mental health disorders or some mood disorders. Or else there can be substance abuse or substance use disorder. So these are the signs to look out for in the parents of the dysfunctional family. So ironically, in today's society, half of the people don't know that they are a part of a dysfunctional society. and they start, the children, I mean the generation, they feel that this is normal. It's okay to abuse, it's okay to be emotionally unavailable, it's okay to be, having addiction problems, it's okay to be in denial, it's okay to, just everything toxic is considered normal. So this is, I mean, somewhat you can understand what a dysfunctional family is. Now, moving on to the next slide. In dysfunctional families, denial and control are used to avoid issues or to cope with pain. So anything, any confrontation or any kind of open discussion or any kind of, sort out or problem solving is often not encouraged in a dysfunctional family. And often denial and control are used by dysfunctional family. I mean the toxic parents that are there in dysfunctional family, their way of addressing to any kind of problem is denial or control. I mean denial, if you see, if the child is wanting to express something, they'll dismiss it. Oh, no, 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 that's not right. What I'm saying is the right thing. You are not grown up enough to understand, you are not grown up enough to validate your emotions. So this is how dismissal and denial, the parents are in a dysfunctional family. And also control, I mean, like how these narcissists and these control freak parents are, they are into controlling their children, and this is all basically to avoid issue. And or maybe in a way these things are done, denial and control are done to basically cope with pain, pain of confrontation, pain of realization, pain to face the truth. So I mean, like, in order to avoid all of these things, denial and control is what is used by these toxic parents of dysfunctional family. Now, moving on to the next slide. Children are smart beings. See, we all know that, children, I mean, they have got really great minds, and every children should be nourished. I mean, when a person is in the child state or when the person is small, I think their minds needs to be nourished rather than, exploited, brutalized, traumatized and tortured. So yes, children are smart being, as we know, and those born in dysfunctional family unconsciously know that something is wrong, but nobody in family openly talks about it or addresses it, as what I said. So these children actually know that there is something wrong. They might not know what is happening in the family until they grow up and they, pick up a self-help book or a mental health book or something related to psychology, and then they find out that it's the dysfunctionality that their family was suffering from. So these children, somewhere or the other, children born in dysfunctional family know that there is something wrong. But again, the system is so messed up in these dysfunctional families that there is no culture or there is no system of open talking. I mean, nobody even cares. I mean, in dysfunctional families, they don't care. Parents don't care how their children feel. And that is how it is. And it's pure toxicity. Moving on to the next slide. Children begin to feel the problems around their caregivers and families. So if you see in dysfunctional family, from a very young age, children do tend to feel that there is something wrong around their caregivers or the family members, father, mother, auntie, grandma, granny, whatever. I mean, like nurse or a caregiver, whatever. So children do have that much of understanding. They do know that much that there is some problem. They begin to feel responsible, or often they are made to feel responsible to fix the problems. As a result of which, they start taking up roles. So now these children, I mean, like, these children are especially born in toxic or dysfunctional families. From a very young age, they are made to feel responsible. They are made to feel responsible about a certain situation, or they are made to feel responsible to fix the problems in the family. So these children are often raised up with such upbringing and conditioning that they are always made to feel responsible, that you are supposed to do this, you are supposed to fix the problem, you are supposed to upgrade, you are supposed to bring in this and that and blah blah blah. You know how it is. So the children are, from a very young age, they are made to feel in a certain way, and as a result of which the children begins to take up role as how they grow up. So this is the role that I was talking about. So they start taking up roles. So now there are again three roles that I've already talked about: the scapegoat, the overachiever, and the peacemaker, right? So these are the three kinds of role that under pressure children begin to take, because they're made to feel in that way that they are responsible. So then the children takes either of these roles. Now let us understand what scapegoat is. The scapegoat is a child who is the problem child in the family. The problem child keeps the parents distracted from the real issues. So the scapegoat is a kind of a child in the family that keeps the parent always distracted from the real problem. So these kids are considered like a problem in the family, and they are all the time getting their parents exhausted. Now let me tell you, these children are made to feel in that way. When the children are constantly made to feel responsible, these are the kind of rules or the kind of awareness that these kids develop. So the kind that we are talking about is scapegoat. The child, when the parent is constantly blaming the child, and the child grows up understanding and realizing that I was the bad kid, and I was so bad, and I was so problematic, that I kept my parents distracted from the real problems. So it's a kind of a blame game. It's a kind of a pure blame game, where the blame is on the children, and children are made to feel like this, the scapegoat. The next one is the overachiever. The overachiever's accomplishments mask the family's pain, shame, and emptiness. So now these fake toxic families or dysfunctional families, however you address it, to me, they all look, shallow, empty, and fake and toxic. So in these overachiever kids, the overachiever's accomplishment masks the family's pain, shame, and emptiness. So the family as it is, we know dysfunctional families are hollow. There is nothing substantial. It's just pure toxicity. So these overachiever, these kids, their accomplishments are supposed to be the remedy for the family pain, and their accomplishment, these kids are forced to sort out the family pain, to bring pride in the family, and to cover up the emptiness. So these overachiever kids are really pressurized a lot to fix their family issues, to fix their family aesthetics and image in the society, and to fix up the emptiness. So the entire responsibility falls on the overachievers, because the more they will achieve, the more the things that these overachievers achieve will mask the family's emptiness. So they are under a lot of pressure. The overachiever appearance is very important in dysfunctional families. So appearance, no appearance, not as in your face or your outfits, but overall appearance to be appropriate, to be fit in kinds. So it is very essential in dysfunctional families. They are, as it is, fake and hollow and empty, but they really want to look happy. And again, the responsibility is quite a lot on the overachiever's head to make this dysfunctional, empty family look happy and beautiful family. Trust me, no matter how try these overachievers do, but the emptiness and the shallowness shows from any kind of mask that you put on the dysfunctional family's face. Overachiever kids are usually used as evidence that the family is good and perfect. So the if you see, the moral compass is into the hands of these poor little kids, and these kids have to be good. If they are not good, the family is not good and perfect. So now this is something that we need to think about. Our society has become so shallow and so dysfunctional, that a kid has to mask it up. The kid, I mean, who is innocent, who is individual, who is unique, who has his own plans, the kid is forced and the kid is used. The kid's success, the kid's everything is used as an evidence so that the family looks good and perfect. I mean, the dysfunctional families. So this one kind is the overachiever. And the next one is the peacemaker. The peacemaker kids are the best and the simplest kids, who causes no issues, aware of the family's overall stress and chaos. These peacemaker becomes invisible with little needs to cope. So these kids are like, I mean, they are very cute, simple, and they are very aware of whatever is happening in the family, and they go with the flow. Okay, fine. I mean, like, if you want to get me married, yes, please get me married. I mean, these kids actually just do. They see so much of chaos, stress, and issues as it is, that they really don't want to be a kind of a hurdle or a block in the lives of their parents. So these kids become peacemakers. They are like, whatever they are said to do, they'll go and do it, right? Even if they don't feel like doing it, they'll do it because they are peacemakers. So, I mean, if you see, this toxic, dysfunctional family really messes up these young kids. So these are the, I mean, like, three kinds of, roles that we are talking about. And if you see about these roles, so these are roles that these children take up. Children, as we have discussed, that they are intelligent beings, and I mean, I personally feel that this is not fair. One needs to let the kids grow and decide for themselves. One needs to only be responsible, for one's own actions. One cannot keep on blaming and, forcing the kid. So, yes, these are the three kinds of role that children take up, seeing all that dysfunctionality in the family. And I think I have seen the scapegoat type also, the overachiever. Yes, I have seen such people also, and the peacemakers. And trust me, these kids, these three kinds of the kids, the roles that I have talked about, any kids who take up these kind of roles, trust me, they are not happy in their life. Every day I get mails where people are having some kind of, issues. And trust me, one of the growing problem in today's time is dysfunctional families. And that is the reason dysfunctional families are creating dysfunctional products, because they are passing on that dysfunctionality. They are so obsessed in controlling and making their children responsible for everything that they want, or they need to satiate their egotistical things. So, I mean, like, it's not fair. I mean, children are individual being, and we should respect their individuality rather than, just burdening them with our expectations and our nonsensical dreams. Let them accomplish their dream. Let them be individual, beautiful individual they deserve to be. So, yes, in case if you want to add in something to this, you can always comment below. And please do like, share, subscribe this channel. And I mean, if you think you have taken up any one of those roles, in growing up in a dysfunctional family, do share in your experience below as well. And till then, please take care of yourself. Have a great day. Lots of love and blessing. Bye.